changes a little bit how the brain is working. Already now we're set and ready. So come to sitting to your edge of the chair, feet hip distance apart, aligning to the hips, no toes out, no toes in. And also you want to check that your feet are not only parallel and hip distance apart, but that also they're right underneath the knees, meaning that you don't want your foot to slide forward, neither you want to pull your foot in. You want your shin bone to be perpendicular, 90-degree angle to the floor. From here, that allows your hips to find a little more freedom of movement instead of collapsing the back and round your back. You want to have the ability to move your hips a little bit forward and back. And in some movement, they will rock even deeper into arching of the back and rounding of the back. So that's why also we're sitting right at the edge of the chair, because that open space underneath the leg and the back to give the freedom to the hips that not only they deserve, but that they're supposed to be doing, that the function of the hips to have the ability to communicate between the legs and the torso, and to have also a seat for the spine. So from the mobility and the steadiness of the hips and how you move your hips, you have access to the flexibility and steadiness of the spine. And from here, you want to drop the shoulders and bring the shoulders right on top of the hips. And then finally, because we're addressing the spine here, you want your neck to be as comfortable as possible. If your chin comes forward, you'll immediately feel a pull on the back of the neck. If you were to poke the chin far in, also it feels off on the neck, and some areas of the neck gets tenser than others. So the ideal position, the ideal posture is to have the ears right on top of the shoulders right on top of the hips. Once you find that alignment, you'll notice that you feel pretty equal all around the body. And what I mean by equal is that there's not a part of your body that is tensing up more than another to keep you up straight. And you start rooting deeper into the sit bones on the chair, and you start rooting deeper onto the feet, which give you the support you need from which the movement can spring. To be able to move in an environment that is like air and earth, which is our environment on planet Earth, through the gravity and the pull of gravity, you need to have a part of your body in contact with the surface from which you spring movement back, that you fight gravity from, that gives you that springing up, right? And so if the feet are rooted in a way that it gives you that kind of support, then you find not only support and stability, but access to movement of your spine in a way that you wouldn't have if your spine is not feeling safe, is not feeling taken care of and stable. So that's why we highlight this position a lot, because even though we're sitting, it's so easy to go back into this position where the spine is overstretched in one direction and not at all in any other direction. So with all this being said, which was a big spiel this morning, relax your hands on top of your thigh and close your eyes. And let's connect to the breath. And you're probably all inside your homes today. But on my end, it's really enjoyable to be able to connect to my body outside in nature, in a different environment. And you allow yourself to be very present through paying attention to your breath. And that's something that by default we don't do much during our days because the breath just happens. So take this opportunity to really tap into how your breath is feeling. Notice the inhales and the exhales. Notice if any part of it is restricted, if you tend to breathe shallow to the upper chest, or if you're able to let that breath expand as it naturally does and opens up the lungs all the way to the lowest part of the lungs, which is why you should eventually be feeling the breath and the movement of the breath in your belly. The lungs go really far down to the low ribs, and therefore the expansion and the contraction of the belly is supporting the capacity of the lungs to expand fully into a full deep breath and to release and squeeze the exhale out to its fullest capacity too. Once you come in touch with your breath, take it as a guide to enter into the body. And now I want you to give a little screening capacity to your breath. So you're following your breath into the body to notice which areas of the body are already spacious, alive, completely at ease and comfortable, and which areas of the body this morning are a little tight, a little stiff, maybe a little fighting, the getting up and the waking up, and stay a little dormant and achy. So not to criticize any part of it, just to become aware of your body map. Notice if the right side feels different from the left side, if the back feels different from the front, and allow yourself to trust your seat, trust your chair to support you, trust the floor underneath your feet to support you. And take 2 or 3 more breaths here to really dive into the body, which is going to be the instrument of your movement. So the movement does not arise from analyzing from your mind, from your brain perspective, what you're doing, but from having a personal experience of a set of sensations from which you move and out of which you move. And let's open the eyes, and we're going to start with a gentle rocking and swaying of the spine and shoulders from side to side. And you can start with your hands resting on your lap and see how that goes, because the simple fact of having your hands on your laps also brings softness and relaxation into the arms. So be really fluid, very relaxed, do minimum effort to just sway from side to side, and let progressively that swaying to go all the way into the neck and the head area. Take a couple more here, and then we're gonna add the arms, where you're gonna release your arms to the side and now add the weight of the arms to pull you from side to side. And maybe you'll be able to go a little deeper. Not that that's the aim and goal. There's no goal, no aim to be achieved, just following the movement of your body and how the body feels. But simply adding that extra weight of the hands naturally might open a little much range of motion onto your spine. Take a couple more. Keep on breathing all along in any movement that we're doing. Breathe through your nose if you can. And then let's come back to center. Reset ourselves to go into the shoulders. And we're going to roll one shoulder at a time. And last class we did several repetitions on one shoulder. This time we're going to switch from shoulder to shoulder on each move. So we're going to start with the right shoulder, and you're going to really being aware of the range of motion of your shoulder. So you pull the shoulder forward first and see how far it can go. Then you roll it up toward your right ear, and you start rolling back and away and down and back to center and neutral. And let's go to the left side. Left shoulder pulls forward and then lifts up. And when I'm lifting up here, I feel already a stretch through the left side of the body that is directly connected to the shoulder, and then roll back and down. And right shoulder forward, up, back, and down. Go really slow and mindful here. Left shoulder forward, up to the ear, back and away, and down. Right shoulder. Inhale as you bring it up. Exhale as you roll it back and down. Breathe in with your left shoulder, pulling forward and up. Breathe out as the shoulder goes back and down. One more. Right shoulder forward, up, back, and down, following the breath. And left shoulder forward, up, Back and down, following the breath. Pause, reassess your center here. Make sure everything is back into place in your neutral position before we go to the other side, meaning the other direction. And as we go in the other direction, we're gonna bring in the arm. So we're gonna start with the left shoulder, the right shoulder again. And this time you're gonna go back first and then let go the arm behind you, really nice and easy. And then let the elbow lead the way as you bring up, forward, across, and down. And then left arm, shoulder pulls back, your arm relaxes back, you reach back a little bit, you bend the elbow, and you round it forward and down. And let's go with the right arm. So find your range of motion. We're gonna go unstopping, meaning that I'm not gonna guide you one shoulder at a time. We're gonna just swim our way forward. And you're gonna have to find your own range of motion and your own movement that might be different from the right side to the left side. But what is important here again is to use your breath. So for me, what works well here is inhaling as I'm pulling back and up, and exhaling as I'm swinging forward. Breathe in and out. One more on each side. Noticing that it amplifies the stretch on the side of the body as you bring that arm in motion. And release. Sit tall, feel the shoulders, feel the side of the body. Notice what's changed and shifted. Breathe in and out here. And let's go into some circles around the wrist, bringing the arms forward, lifting them enough, not all the way up here, but enough can be midway between the legs and the shoulders. And then gentle rotations of the hands, starting in the front. And then from the rotation in the front, you're gonna open out, soft bend in the elbows. Then you're gonna go down, come forward, and keep on rising up. Looks like we're dancing here. Open out, and down, and breathe, and forward, and up. One more circle. Rotate out, and down, and forward, and stay. Floating your hands forward. Take a moment here with the arms lifted. Feel the sensation. I personally feel some tingling here from the hands through the arms. And we're gonna go reverse the movement of the wrist rotation. So if you were going out before, we're gonna go in. If you were going in for some reason, you weren't doing exactly what I was doing, then you'll be going out. Just figure out which sides you didn't do. And we're gonna start in. And we're gonna go down to the side, out and up, and lift, and forward, and down, and breathe, and open. You can now involve also the elbows. Take a moment here to the side, which is easier to find the elbow motion here. And then go up. There's less elbows going on here. It's a little more challenging. And then you go forward and down, sideways here. You're using the elbows along with the hands to rotate from elbows to hands. Then out, just keep your hands. Lift up. Deep breath in is coming into my body here, and exhale, I'm going down. And last one, sideways all the way to the elbows. Then just the hands as you come up. Slow down the movement. Go really mindfully into the movement of your hands and fingers. as in slow motion movie, and come forward. And stop here, feel your arms, your fingers, your wrists, and relax your hands back down. Take a breath in and a breath out. Give a little nodding to the head from side to side. And then give a little nodding to the head forward and back, not all the way back, but just a few times, gently forward without forcing too much down, and slightly up. Sometimes working on in the shoulders can stiffen the neck. And back to center. Hands to the top of the knees. And we're gonna start rocking the spine here. You're gonna roll your hips forward and back. And find the breath in the movement of your spine all the way to the head. You're gonna inhale maybe as you come forward, that's the most spontaneous and natural way for the body. You inhale, you arch your back. And you exhale, you round and ground. Inhale, pull away. So you're going forward onto your sit bones, which makes you go away from your point of balance on top of the chair. And that might feel a little adventurous if you really go into that arching. And then you start rounding in and your hips roll back, your sit bones roll back, and you go more towards the center of the chair. You feel more rooted and more grounded. Inhale into spaciousness forward. Open your throat a little bit as you pull the chin up, and exhale, you round in and back. You even maybe close your eyes as you pull the chin down to open your eyes again as you come forward. Inhale, bringing the breath in, and exhale, round maybe a little deeper if that's available to you. And last one, inhale, rock the hips, open shoulders back, feel this arching in your back. Sometimes at first it feels a little achy if we're stiff on the low back, but as we progressively move in and out of the pose, it feels a lot better. Round in, spread the shoulder blades apart, your heart space is pushing back to between the shoulder blades, and then bring yourself back to neutral. Toes open out, heels open out, toes out. Your legs are wide apart, but you're still grounded. Your knees are aligning with your toes, meaning that your toes are not turned in and your knee in some kind of awkward opening back. Neither the knees are flipping in. So you're trying to keep that same position of the leg that you had forward, but simply out to the side. Hands go on top of the knees. You're pressing hands down into the knees and feel that action grounding through the shin bones down into the feet. And when you do this, you're going to see that naturally your hips are rolling forward. You're kind of projecting your chest into the space between your legs instead of just staying cozy on your chair behind. And that's how it's really important to have your hands anchored, because your straight arms become the support for the spine to be flexible and relaxed in the tilting of the pelvis forward. From here, we're gonna go into shoulder twists. You're gonna press into the left hand to roll the left shoulder towards the right side and feel the stretch here. Stay here for a breath or two and eventually see if you can turn your head over the right shoulder. Look back. Breathe into the left side of the torso all the way to your left kidney, and then come back in. Inhale, head, shoulders, everything come back to center, and then you press into your right hand to roll your right shoulder forward toward the left. You find your edge here. Make sure that whatever your edge is, you're able to still breathe fully, and then turn your head over to the left, over the left shoulder. And breathe. Breathing now and stretching into the right side of the torso, from the rib cage down to the low back into the kidney area. And then bring everything back to center, and let's go a couple more times on each side. Press into your left hand, ground into the left foot. Use the activation of the left leg to support the pressing down of the left hand. And pull and stretch out to the right. Turn your head over to the right. The right hand also is grounding down, pressing into the right knee, and you're pressing down into the right foot. So both legs get to a point of being fully engaged, so that again, your spine is nice and fluid, knowing that it's taken care of. And then let's switch slowly back to center. And exhale, push, press, twist the right shoulder over to the left, turn your head over to the left shoulder. Sometimes we're not realizing how tense the neck is until we start moving the chin a little bit around, tiny bitty, and find a different spot that is actually more comfortable to hold the neck in this twist. One more breath here. Come back to center, inhale. Last one on each side. Press into the left hand, pull the left shoulder forward toward the right, and twist to the right. Press down into the right hand. Expand and push away so the spine keeps on having that expansion mode, that spaciousness between the ribs and between the vertebrae. And back to center, inhaling. Take the exhale to twist over to the left. And notice now that we've done it several times, notice if your left side is more or less open than the right, or pretty equal. Take a deep breath in. And come back to center. Exhale. Sit back a little bit without rounding, just shifting, rolling your hips back a bit and grounding into the sit bones. Keeping your legs out, but making sure again that you're keeping your knees right on top of the ankles. You're not relaxing like this. Keep your legs engaged and active. Here you should feel even the inside of the legs engaged. And we're gonna bring the right arm up and stretch up, stretch, stretch, stretch. Try to find that thing above you that you wanna grab and hang on. And you press down into the right sit bone, down into the left sit bone on the chair as you pull through the right side. Take one more breath here. Deep, full stretch. And as you exhale, you're gonna bend your left elbow and start tilting out to the left. And doesn't have to be a major tilt. I'm sure that several of you are able to go all the way down here, but even myself, when I go all the way down here, the angle of the stretch is different because it becomes at some point tighter, so the shoulder goes forward. And I want you to experience having the same length and the same reach that you have up here into tilting to the side. And therefore you should feel the stretch along your arms, obviously, but then there's a pull from the right side of the rib cage down to the right hip, top of the hip, inner hip, and back of the hip. And you're stretching the skin away and then tilting just enough to get a little more sensation through that right side. You're trying to relax the left side of the waistline. One more breath. Then soften your right arm in front of you, round in gently. So now you feel the softening on that right side of the torso. Pull in and back to neutral, to the center point, which is not our initial neutral position, but the neutral position of this specific sequence of movements. And take a moment here. You should feel a lot going on through the right side, especially once you start releasing the stretch. There's this all tingling, warmth, all the tissues coming back into their regular position out of the stretch. And so there's a lot to experience here before we switch sides. And let's go to the other side. Left arm goes up and stretch and pull. Press down into the sit bones, find length to the crown of the head and reach tall, straight up to the fingertips. Expand up, start feeling that pull through the left side of the body. Press down into the feet and see if you can reach a little taller here. Don't worry if your shoulder goes up to the ear, that's fine because the goal is to stretch as much as possible this left side. And then from here, exhale, start tilting out to the right as you bend your right elbow. But as you tilt again, you're not simply collapsing and tilting this way. You're keeping the lengthening and just shifting the angle a little out to the right. And now you feel the pull all the way to the tip of the left hip, the side of the hip, a little bit toward the back into the glute, the upper glute, and breathe. Here your belly needs to engage to stabilize, but you're also using your right hand and your right foot to find that stability and support. One more breath here. And then gently soften the arm in, round the left shoulder in, soften and release the stretch. Pull back to center and come back up to rising tall. Maybe you move your shoulders a little bit, you reposition yourself, and you breathe here. Toes come in, heels come in, toes come in. Now look down and make sure you're back to your feet coming to hip distance apart and parallel to each other. Sit nice and tall. Feel any differences in your body here. Deep, long breath, in and out. Good. Bringing your right hand behind you, grabbing your chair, the back of your chair. As you do this movement, make sure that your right shoulder is not doing some kind of awkward lifting. So find the range of motion starting from the front where you swing your arm back and your shoulder stays in the same position. Sometimes we're like, okay, I'm going to do it here. And then immediately the shoulder lifts up and we're not even aware of it. So take it low, swing back, and that's where you're grabbing the chair. Take an inhale here, keep the shoulders down, roll the right shoulder back a little bit, bring your left hand to the outside of the right leg, and then from here you're going to use traction from your right hand, pulling you back, and pressure of your left hand against the right leg as you keep your right leg engaged, like contracting the muscle so that the leg is not being pulled in. So we're going to inhale here, and then pull, track, and twist. And breathe. Now the twist here is happening from the mid-spine and upper spine. It's not twisting from your hips and your low back. Nice and gentle pull here. Now in the twist, we're going to move the head around. Stay here, keep on breathing, make it sustainable. And you're going to turn your head from the right shoulder to the left shoulder. From looking away from the screen to looking at the screen. Gentle head rotation in the twist. Keep on breathing all along. Maybe make one part of the breath in one movement and the other part of the breath in the other part of the movement. In my case, I'm inhaling as I'm looking at the screen, and I'm exhaling as I'm looking back. One last, breathe in and breathe out. Coming back to head towards the front. Soften your right arm and pull. Release your left hand and come back to center. Give a little swing to the shoulders and the torso from side to side. That was an intense twist. And let's go to the other side. Left hand lift just enough to go into that outer rotation and swing back here. When you reach back, that's where you anchor your hand. You're not trying to go further up. You just go at that same level. Then reach tall. The left shoulder rolls back a bit or a lot. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg. Now this time you're going to bring more attention to the left leg to not lose the connection with the leg where your hand is pushing in and you're pulling it in. Press down into the left foot. Feel the leg. Start activating that right hand against the leg. And we're going to inhale here. Find a little more length through your spine. And exhale. Pull from your left hand. Traction back. Press into your right hand against the leg and twist. And breathe. Try to find your belly breath here. that you might sense that when you're inhaling from the belly, as you breathe, you feel that you're out of the stretch a little bit, and then squeeze the belly in on the exhale, and that will give you a little more space to twist in. And then let's go with the head. So you're starting with looking back, and we're going to start moving the head from right shoulder to left shoulder. Inhale to the front, exhale, looking back. Breathe into the right shoulder, breathe out to the left shoulder. Few more, twisting of the neck as we stay in the twist of the spine. The breath is flowing. And looking forward again, stay here. Release the stretch, release the hands, come back to neutral, and give a little shake to the shoulders. And come back to your neutral position. Now check your breath. I just had a side coming up, a sigh, not a sight, a sigh. And that means that something unlocked on my side body into the twist of the spine that allowed the lungs to receive more breath naturally. So honoring what happening to the body sometimes is a yawn that comes that also tells you that your parasympathetic nervous system is kicking in. So watch all those different things that happen within the movement, but also take those breaks in between movements to see where you're at and to have an experience of what happens in the after movement. Good. Arms come forward. And we're gonna do a little paddling here to activate the arms a little stronger. That's something that we've done in several classes, so you should be familiar with this unless you're new. But we're gonna add a component to it. So as you paddle your hands a few inches up and down, like about 3 inches up and down, you're gonna alternate from closing your fingers tight to opening your fingers out, closing and opening. And I won't tell you how often you do that. Do it on your own, closing and opening. And notice the difference between when your fingers are closed and the surface of resistance of your hands and how that translates into what you feel in the arms versus spreading the fingers out and opening space and having less resistance with the air and gravity. Let's do it a few more times with opening and closing the hands while the fingers. And then you're going to choose, depending on how much resistance you want onto your arms, you're going to either go all fingers together or fingers out for less resistance. And we're going to go broader. Open. So I chose right now to have my fingers together and offer more resistance. And you're gonna try to keep your shoulders relaxed so that even though there's resistance through the arms, you're not tensing up the shoulders here. You're keeping the shoulders loose and nice, but your arms are straight out and offering the broadest surface of resistance they can to the body. Or if you chose to open your fingers, which you can switch now to a different action, if you open your fingers, now experience softness through your arms. So your elbows are softly bent, and it's a movement that is a little more flowy, a little more liquid. So let's do this together. Open your fingers out if they were closed in and go into soft movement. And then let's all close the fingers and straighten the arms. And feel the resistance through the arms as you pull back and up. And breathe all along. And come back to center. Arms parallel to the floor. Relax your fingers out. We're going to bring the hands in, up, and out. We're going to trace circles. First with only the arms. Soft fingers in, you trace up along the body, and then you pull out and away. And then we're gonna go with the spine. So you're gonna round in as you roll your hands far away and down, and then stretch up and round in. And for this one, this chair is a kind of a round chair, a little more challenging than the chair I have at home to go sideways, but let's try this out so that you can see the movement. Oh yeah, it works. Okay, so here you're rounding as you bring it down, and then you're pulling up and stretching up, and then round in. Pull from your feet up and forward, and round. 3 more, breathe in, and out. Breathe in, and out. And last one, breathe in, and out. Coming back to neutral, hands to your lap. Pause, relax, and notice differences on your body. Differences in your breath, whatever feels slightly different or very much different, or whatever sensation has arisen that you become aware of. Good. Let's do another arm movement today. Arms forward, and you're gonna crisscross up and down, bringing your arms straight forward. Again, here you can choose to have your fingers wide or relaxed, or bring your fingers in. And crisscross, and breathe. A few more, keep on breathing. Maybe bring a soft gaze to your hands. So you're looking down to your hands and watching the movement of the arms crossing on top of each other and then switching. And next time your right hand is on top, stay here. And we're going to split out and back. And then as we bring them forward, we switch left arm on top. And then open out and back. Right arm on top. And open out and back. And left arm on top. And open out and back. And release. And take a moment here again. Notice what you feel from the shoulders, through the arms, in the torso, wherever you feel something happening. Arms to the side of the body. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the leg movement. You're going to press down into the left foot. And as you're going to bring your left arm forward, you're going to lift your right knee up. And then bring that right foot down, relax, and switch. Right arm up, left leg up. Hold here, and down. Left arm, right leg, and down. Now synchronize the breath. Inhale as you lift the arm and the leg. Exhale, you land. Inhale, right leg, left arm. And down. Right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. Keep on breathing. Right arm, left leg. And down. And next time we're going to stay left arm, right knee up. And we're going to go into opening and closing. Open the knee out a bit and the arm and close. So here my foot is at a certain distance, like probably 6-7 inches from the floor. But you can go lower down and still have that movement here. Foot is hovering. Your left arm is going parallel to the floor. And you're pressing down into the left foot. And using your left leg as a support for your right leg to feel nice and free to open and close. Couple more. And back to center, hold, feel the activation of the belly toward the navel. And relax, pause, both hands on the lap. Give a little Sway to the hips forward and back to relax anything that you might have tensed up on the right inner hip. And back to neutral. And let's go to the other side. Right arm up, left hand to the side, left leg up. Squeeze your belly in, and we're gonna open and close the left leg and the right arm. Breathe in and breathe out. Press down into the right foot. Find fluid breath and fluid movement. As we repeat this movement several times, notice if there's any part of your body that is not involved directly in the movement that is tensing up. Obviously, the right leg should be active here, but see if you have a tendency to, for example, tense your face or bring your teeth really tight in and try to soften the face. The face and the head are in such intimacy with the rest of the body that if you're tensing up your face, it sends a ripple of tension through the body. So relax your face, one last movement. Hold it forward and release down, relax. Rock the hips forward and back a few times. And come back to neutral. Lifting your heels up and down to activate your ankles and to activate circulation into your legs. Bouncing the floor up and down. And then bring your heels up. Stay here to the max, pressing down into the ball of the feet. And then you're going to lower your heels about halfway and start rotating your ankles in one direction, allowing your knees to rotate. And reverse. And relax and release. Stretch your right foot out to the front as you anchor your heel. And here, let's see if I have a little room to the back because I noticed that my foot is cut on the screen. So here, yeah, you can see my foot here. And we're gonna slide out and stretch out through the leg. And then press down to the left hand and the knee to pull back up. And we're gonna do that 3 more times. Slide out, slide your hand down, hinge from the hips, and then pull back up. And 2 more, slide out. And press back in. And last one, you're gonna stay down, find the support with your left hand to leverage. And instead of sliding back up, you're gonna extend your right arm forward as far as you can go. Wiggle your fingers and lift up and high, stretch back a little bit. And release that right hand down to slide your right foot in. Find your neutral position again. Take a couple breaths here. And let's slide the left heel forward, flexing your toes towards you, right hand on top of the right knee, and we're gonna slide out along the leg. And press and pull back up. And gentle out, tilting your hips, lengthening the spine, and really slide your fingers. There's a lot of a sensor, there's a lot of nerve endings on the fingers to help you perceive the environment. So use that to create a connection with your leg. You're sliding and you're getting the information to the tip of the fingers, and the fingers are also sending information and touch to the leg. And that stimulation of the skin is really important for the nervous system. So let's go 2 more times with that intention of really touching the top of your leg up and down and feel that connection. And last one, you're gonna go forward and stay. Press into the right hand, down into the right knee, down into the right foot. Feel the stretch to the back of the leg, which is one of those movements that is really essential to be at the edge of the chair to get the full stretch all the way to the sit bone. And we're gonna extend left arm forward and stretch long up and back. And relax back to center. Bring your left foot back in, hands to the knees, shake your legs out. And relax. Grabbing behind your right leg. Again, you can use the clasping of the fingers because that's a stronger grip behind your leg than just trying to grab in different locations with the hands. So clasp the fingers, tilt the hips forward, long in front of you. I'm going to go to the side here so you can see a little better. So you're tilting from the hips. You're not grabbing from the upper back. You're tilting, grab, press into the left foot, and lift. And let's rotate the knee a few times in one direction. So I had a long trip yesterday. I came to Santa Fe driving with a group of friends in 2 cars. So that was a long road trip. So all this is also helping me to recover from sitting from long hours in the car. And then rotate the knee and leg in, lubricating the joints here, reactivating range of motion into the different parts of the body. And relax, relax completely the foot, the low leg, and let's start moving into the hip rotation. Rolling the knee and leg out, using the arms. Make sure you're not going forward this way. Use your body weight back. It's a lot easier to leverage the weight of the leg. And next time you're rotating toward the left, you're going to cross your left leg, your right leg over the left. If that's not possible, you're going to bring it to the ankle. And we're going to open and close the knee. If it's at the ankle, if you're up here, you're going to squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So we'll have 2 different movements depending where you're at. You open and close here, and when you close, you squeeze, and then you relax out. And here you squeeze and relax, and squeeze and relax. Couple more in any of those 2 positions. And relax completely. Grab the leg again, uncross, and come back to neutral position. Sit tall. And let's switch. Fingers interlacing underneath your left leg as you pull forward. And then you use your body weight and pressing into the right foot to shift back. And we're going to rotate the leg from the knee out. And breathe. And reverse. And keep a smile on your face as you smile. That's also going to prevent you from tightening everything super tight around your face and clenching your jaw. So a soft smile. And relax that foot and that leg. And now we're going to go into this hip rotation. Nice deep rotation of the hip. If that's not available to this range of motion, you can go tinier right here. If your hip is a little achy today, just be mindful. Again, use your body, use your upper back and upper spine to shift back the torso and to use that weight to leverage the leg. Next time you're rolling in, cross the leg over or cross at the ankle. And here again, we have 2 different distinct movements. Depending on if you're up here, you're gonna squeeze everything, the legs all the way to the glutes together and relax, squeeze and relax. If you're at the ankle, you're gonna open and close. When you close, you're squeezing the knees together and then you open and close. Open and close. And again, if you're up here, you squeeze everything together and relax. And squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Last two. Down here, open and close. Open and close. Open and close for last one. And release. Uncross legs. Come back to sitting. Bring the heels out and the knees in. Use your hands to the outer knees to press in. Right above the knees. Not right at the knees, but right above on the legs. And you squeeze in. And all together you bring your heels in, toes out. You bring your hands to the inner legs and you open those legs out. Rolling the hips forward. Shifting forward. And back to neutral, heels back to parallel. Shake yourself out a little bit. We're getting to toward the end of the class, and we have another surprise for you today. From a different setting, you're gonna have also a nice ending of the class here. Shake everything out, relax, hands on top of your legs. And we are gonna have the last part of our session today with some music. Grayson is here on this trip with me, and he brought his magical instrument, which this time it's another pan that has a different note, different tone. And so you're gonna get to enjoy a little music as we're here, coming back to the awareness of the body and the breath. And you might hear more of the music than my voice. So what is essential here is just to relax. My voice might be in the background to guide, to relaxing deeper, but the music itself will do the work. So close your eyes, making sure that you start from that neutral position, that everything is self-sustained and supported. And resting your hands on your lap, close your eyes, relax the shoulders. Find your breath again. Land on your seat and notice all the sensations that you've gathered through this practice this morning. Allow your body weight to drop and ground. Start relaxing from the inside, relaxing organs, relaxing breath, relaxing the weight of the body all the way into the bones, heavier. And from that inner relaxation, allowing the outer body, the skin, to soften and relax. Soften the belly as we tend to tense it up. And as you relax the butt belly, relax into the pelvis. The weight of the body sink a little deeper on your sit bones, on your feet, on the earth, on the chair. in through your side. And that's where we're finishing our class today, our Santa Fe session for this morning. Thank you, Grace. I'm sure that you have lots of thank yous on the call today.